Welcome everyone. Here we have moved to the end, towards the end of this topic. We have covered everything. We have seen how gametes are formed, how gamete transfer take place, how fertilization have taken place, how after fertilization this zygote has changed into embryo, how this embryo is in the seed. We have seen all the changes which has taken place during the sexual reproduction in the plants. So, we have moved on to this last one, which is a little topic left here. So, seeds. After this fertilization is over, after this embryo is formed, so here the ovule is nothing but the seed. Ovule, fertilized ovule changes into seed. Seed is nothing but a fertilized ovule. I have already said you in the previous video itself, the seed change, that is ovule, after fertilization it changes into seed. So, if we see the structure of this ovule here, okay, if we see the structure of the ovule here, so this is how ovule will be there. Okay, now here this is the style and this will be the ovary. This will be the ovary. So, here this is the ovule. Inside this ovule now, here cells are present. Inside the ovule the cells are present. Okay. So, these cells are called as nucellus cells. Nucellus cells. So, out of this nucellus cells, one which is near this micropyle, this is the micropyle, and these two are the integuments. This is the funicle. Okay, this is the funicle. This is the chalaza. This is the chalaza. So, inside this, enclosed in these two integuments, cells are present. So, cells together is called as this nucellus tissue. So, nucellar cells are present. Out of the cells of this nucellar cell, one cell which is the bigger, some cells change into megaspore mother cells. So, in this bigger one which is near the micropyle, it will change into megaspore mother cell. Okay. So, now this megaspore mother cell has undergone repeated mitotic divisions which led to the formation of what? This led to the formation of an embryo sac. This led to the formation of embryo sac. Inside this embryo sac, we have this synergids, egg, diploid cell, then we have this antipodals. We have this antipodals. So, this is the embryo sac. Now, inside this embryo sac, here the synergids have been degenerated, antipodals have been degenerated. This changed into primary endosperm cell, okay, and it has changed to endosperm, and this has been changed to zygote, and from the zygote it has changed to embryo with further divisions. So, this was how the different changes which we have seen in this now. Now, after this fertilization, this ovule will change into a seed. This ovule will change into a seed and this ovary will change into fruit. So, when we eat the fruit which we eat is nothing but we are eating the ovary. In most of the fruits, what we are eating is nothing but the ovary. It is the ovary which we are eating, and inside this fruit we have the seeds. So, inside this ovary we have this ovule. So, this ovule has changed into seeds. This ovule has changed into seeds, and inside the seeds, when we sow the seeds, now a new plant will arise. When we sow the seeds, a new plant will be arise. Why? How a new plant will be arise? Because inside the seed, embryo is present. Inside the seed, embryo with embryonal axis, that is embryo, is present. So, embryo consists of an embryonal axis, cotyledons is there. So, together it is present inside the seed. So, this growing embryo is inside the seed. The embryo will change into a new plant. So, when we sow the seed into the soil by taking water and minerals from the soil and air, so the seeds, the embryo which is inside the seed, the seed will germinate, embryo comes out and it give rise to a new plant. It will give rise to a new plant. Okay. Now coming to the seed, I have already explained you the different parts of this seed. So, but coming to this, here each seed consists of a seed coat. Each seed consists of a seed coat, okay, embryonal axis as well as the reserve food material. Each seed consists of a seed coat. For example, if this is the seed, on the seed na a covering will be present. So, that covering is called as the seed coat. When you open the pea seed, you will find a covering there. Covering will be there. So, that covering is nothing but the seed coat. So, on the seed we have a seed coat. From where we have got the seed coat? Because this ovule is the seed now. Okay, the integuments, these are the integuments, they have formed the seed coat. The seed coat is formed from the integuments. The seed coat have formed from the integument. The ovule has changed, this ovule has changed into the seed. Seed covering the seed is these two integuments make the cover of the seed. The integuments make the cover of the seed. So, in ovule there might be one integument or there might be two integuments. Okay. So, if two integuments are there, then that ovule is called as bitegmic. That is, this ovule is covered by two integuments. If only one is there, we call it as unitegmic. So, here whether it is one layer which is covering or this two. So, here the seed coat is covered by, each seed is covered by seed coat. Okay, that seed coat will be unitegmic. It is made from this unitegmic ovule or it can be made from the bitegmic ovule. Okay. So, here this integuments can be one or two, but either it is one integument is changing into seed cover, or if it is having two integuments, both the integuments are combining and forming a seed cover. Okay. So, when you see the seed, each seed coat, it consists of two layers. Okay. The seed coat consists of two layers, outer layer and inner layer. See each seed coat, the seed will be surrounded by the seed coat and each seed coat is made up of two layers. Most of the seed coats, each seed coat is made up of two layers, an outer layer and the inner layer. Okay. So, when you open this, outside the seed coat is there, that seed coat we find it as one coat, but that one coat is made up of two layers. That one coat which is covering the seed, it is made up of two layers. So, those two layers are outer layer and the inner layer. Okay. The outer layer is called as testa and the inner layer is called as tegmen. Outer layer is called as the testa and the inner layer is called as the tegmen. Okay. So, each seed will be covered by the seed coat. This seed coat is made up of two layers, outer layer and the inner layer. Outer layer is called as the testa and the inner layer is called as the tegmen. Okay. So, when we see this, like if we see this side of the seed, okay, this concave side of the seed, so here it will resemble like this. So, we find three spots on this. We find three spots on the seed. So, this one, the lower one, it will be micropyle. The lower one, because it has changed into seed na. So, here one scar will be there. Okay, this is nothing but the micropyle. So, here also at the lower end we have the scar, that is small hole will be there, which is called as the micropyle. Okay, and here on this hilum, this is hilum scar. This is hilum scar. So, from where we have got this hilum scar? Actually, when we see this na, so here this is the funicle. When this funicle fuses with the ovule, so here the place where the funicle fuses with the ovule, so this place is called as hilum. This fusion will be seen in the form of a scar, which is nothing but hilum scar. So, this is the opening which we see, micropyle is there. So, this is this micropylar opening of ovule. Okay. This is the hilum, another which we find, because if it is complete, this is the hilum. Okay. And one more scar will be there. So, here this funicle will be just will be having a little covering, outer covering will be there. that is called as raft. You just remember this one. So here on the seed we find seed coat and we find 3 scars. Okay, the first scar is nothing but the micropyle. This is the hilum scar. Okay, and this is the raft. So here you find the scars. Now this each seed coat, on this seed coat will find this scars. On each seed we find this scars. So if you see from here this, now you will see like this one and you will see this one. So now this spore is very essential. The spore is also essential for the entry of water and nutrients. Okay, for the entry of water and nutrients. Each seed coat will be having a small pore like structure. Okay, from that pore like structure, water and this is the pore like structure from which water and air enters, because water and air is very essential for the seed, because inside the seed we have the embryo, because inside the seed we have the embryo. So if I make this, inside the seed we have embryo. So here if we see this, if this is the seed, okay, 2 cotyledons, if these 2 are cotyledons, they will be covered by a seed coat. This cotyledons will be covered by a seed coat. These are the 2 cotyledons. This is the embryonal axis and this is the cotyledon. So each seed consists of 3 things. First is the seed coat. Second is the reserve food material. This reserve food material can be in the form of cotyledons or endosperm. It can be in the form, it can be, this reserve food material can be in the cotyledons or it can be in the endosperm. Okay. So if cotyledons, 1 cotyledon it is monocot, if 2 cotyledons it is dicot. Okay. Each seed consists of 3 major parts. The first is the seed coat, second is the embryonal axis and the third is the reserve food material. Okay. So whether it is monocot seed or a dicot seed, we find seed coat, we find embryonal axis and we find the reserve food material. Okay. So reserve food material, this food material can be reserved in cotyledons or it can be present in the endosperm. So there will be seeds with cotyledons will be there. Okay. Cotyledons will be there and endosperm will be or will not be there present. If cotyledons, if this endosperm is totally utilized, then this cotyledons will not be having, endosperm will not be present. I already said you, during the growth of the embryo, if whole endosperm is utilized, then the reserve food will be in the cotyledons. Okay. And if during this development, if embryo does not have not utilized the whole endosperm, then cotyledons will have very little flesh, little reserve food, and that reserve food will be in the form of endosperm. If I explain you this one, so if we see cotyledons, dicot, monocot. So here if we see the seed, this is the dicot seed and this is the monocot seed. Okay. Here is the embryonal axis. Here is the embryonal axis with this cotyledon. So here the reserve food material is not there in this. Each seed, this is also seed, this is also seed. Each seed will have reserve food material. In the seed, reserve food material is in this cotyledons, and in the seed, reserve food material is in the endosperm. Reserve food material is in the endosperm. So reserve food material can be present in the cotyledons or it can be present in the endosperm. Okay. In this, in both the cases, in each seed, this also cotyledon is present. In this seed, 2 cotyledons are present and in this seed only 1 cotyledon is present. So each seed, whether monocot or whether dicot, each seed consists of a seed coat. Okay, here also seed coat will be present. Then embryonal axis, this is the embryonal axis, this is the embryonal axis, and in this embryonal axis we have this plumule, this is radicle, this is the hypocotyle, this is the hypocotyle, this is the radicle, this is the plumule, this is the epicotyle. So this is the epicotyle, and here in this plumule is not covered, but in case of this monocot, plumule is covered by a sheath and radicle is also covered by sheath. So this sheath is called as coleorhiza and this sheath is called as coleoptile. So each seed consists of these three things. Okay, and along with these three things we find three holes on this one. So this one hole is nothing but the micropyle. Okay, through this micropyle water and oxygen enters into the seed, because water and oxygen is essential for this growing embryo which is present inside. So the seed from the seed pore water and oxygen will be there. After the fruit is formed, the seeds are formed, the fruit will be dropped from the plant, or during the when the fruit is on the plant itself. So after seeds are formed now, the fruits will fall and dispersal of seed is needed, because the fruit is there. If it falls on the ground, all the seeds will be fallen on the same, because if one fruit is falling, many seeds will be there in the fruit. Okay. Many seeds will be there. If all the seeds fall on the same place, so it will give rise to only one or two plants. Other seeds will get wasted. So plants will be having different mechanisms by which the seeds will be dispersed to far away places. Okay, there are certain seeds which can be viable only for a certain period. The seeds are actually they can produce within a short period. The seed has to be changed into a plant, then only it will survive. Otherwise the seed will be living for a few days, and afterwards even if you sow it in the soil, it won't produce any plant, because it is viable only for a certain period of time. There are certain seeds which will be living for years also. We can keep the seeds for years for storage, because the basis of our agriculture is the seeds. So we have to store the seeds for future seasons, because if we have to store the seeds for the future season, because every season plant cannot be growing. So there will be a particular reason in which we have to sow the seeds. So till we sow the seeds from when we have taken the seeds out from the fruit, and till we sow it in the soil, the timing might be different. For some seeds it can live after taken out from the fruit and till it is used for agriculture. It can be many days or it can be months also. So some seeds can live only for a few days, and some seeds can survive even after months also. So it depends on the seeds, what type of seeds they are, but here the seeds are dispersed by the plants, and when they are dispersed, when they fall on the ground, they take the water and nutrients from the ground and they grow into an individual. Okay, when this seed which is in the plant, when it falls on the ground, when it disperses on the ground by various methods, it will grow into an individual. Okay, sometimes farmers will not allow the seeds to drop. They will pick up the fruits, they will take out the seeds and store them for the future use, that is for agriculture. So this is how a seed will change into a new plant. But before this, I have said you that that is apomixis, small part which we have already discussed. There I have said you that I will explain you apomixis in the detail in the next videos. So here in this apomixis is a method in which the new plants are produced without without formation of gametes. So here what happens is, in this agamospermy, that is apomixis is nothing but formation of a new plants with the help of this agamospermy, where formation of embryo is taking place through unfertilized ovule. In this now, the seeds which we are getting, these are the seeds which have been from fertilized ovule. This ovule has fertilized, that is the egg and male gamete have fused and fusion have taken place, fertilization has taken place. After fertilization, this ovule has changed into seed, and the seed is giving rise to a new plant. So this is all about fertilized ovule. But in some cases, without fertilization also, without fertilization of ovule also, new plant can be formed. So that is nothing but apomixis. In this, now what happens? Diploid cell of nucellus or integuments. Instead of this egg, this cells of nucellus, any two cells of nucellus will combine and form the embryo which change into a new plant. Any two cells of nucellus or any two cells of this integuments, they will combine, they will fuse and form an embryo. So, that is unfertilized, because here fertilization is not taking place. Male and female gametes are not fusing. Only two cells of nucellus are fusing and forming an embryo. So, this is unfertilized embryo, ovule. So, embryo is formed from unfertilized ovule. So, the first one is embryo can be formed from diploid cells of nucellus or integuments, or next is it can be formed from diploid megaspore mother cell. So, from this cell will combine with any other cell and it will, an embryo will be formed, or unfertilized haploid egg. Here the egg will not get fertilized with the male gamete. Egg will not get fertilized with the male gamete, instead egg will get fertilized with any other cell. Egg will get fertilized, egg will get fused with any other egg instead of this male gamete and form an embryo. So, that process is called as parthenogenesis, where egg is fused with other cell instead of male gamete. Instead of male gamete, egg is fused with other cell. So, this type of fusion is called as parthenogenesis. This process is called as parthenogenesis. So, in this now ovule is not fertilized, then seeds will not be formed, only embryo will be there, it will give rise to a new plant. So, this was all about this. The important part of this lesson was this, how the sexual reproduction take place, how the formation of fruit and seed will take place. Okay. So, with this we have finished the lesson. If you go through this in the previous videos, I have explained you in detail, but here I have shown you how this will take place, whether two cells of nucellus will fuse, or this megaspore will fuse with the cells, or this egg instead of fusing with male nuclei, it will fuse with any other cell. So, in all these processes there is no fertilization, there is no fusion of male and female gametes. So, no fertilization of the unfertilized ovule is giving rise to a embryo in these cases. So, with this we have finished the lesson. Now, we will move on to next, in the next chapter we will move on to, next video we will move on to next chapter.